the lyrics that was different?
I feel so, because she didn't seem to be acting. She didn't think, what character am I in this 3-minute play? She thought, you felt her relating the song to her life. If she sang "I Cover the Waterfront," you felt she was out there on the docks wondering where her man was. And also her rapport with the musicians. I'd always seen singers out front, you know, la la, and the band's back here.
Yeah.
You really felt those musicians listening to each other and playing off each other. And when Buck Clayton or Lester Young took a solo, they were echoing the feeling that Billy had set up. And it was a whole different way of relating to musicians, too. And also, her very relaxed time feel. Even when it was very fast, she always sounded relaxed.
Yeah. And she was in control of the lyrics.
Oh, yeah. And interestingly enough, because she was not an educated woman, she read comic books for recreation. She had wonderful diction. You never miss a single word she's singing.
How do you explain that?
I think it's because she cared about words. She wanted to communicate feelings, and feelings are in words. So everybody has to understand every word right away.
And
they can't wonder what
and
you
then
mean.
fast forward to where you are today, that's essentially what you have carried forward of hers, which the feeling about words and the feeling about the lyric.
I hope so.
We'll be right back. Susannah McCorkle, stay with us.
I've tossed and turned until it seemed you had gone. But here you are with the dawn.
I know he's out there.
We are back with Susannah McCorkle. Let me come at this thing about Billie Holiday, because I'm fascinated by her and Sarah Vaughan, who recently died. It is this notion of I think both of them, or one or the other. It's either both or one or the other. And it came to my attention at the time that Sarah Vaughan died. Said that they didn't think of other singers as much in thinking of their voice. They thought of horns, trumpet, other horns.
Oh.
You came along and said, no, it's not the way I see it.
That's true. I am different in that way.
And what does that mean? And how are you different? And what's the...
Maybe partly because I have somewhat of an acting background.
Yeah.
And I love poetry, and I love good theater. And also, I think I gravitated to jazz musicians because they are of their artistry. They're very serious about their instruments. They get a beautiful sound, and they aren't corny or hammy. But I didn't gravitate to them because I wanted to be a jazz musician. I always wanted to be a woman singing songs. So that's what I go for. And although I do a lot of musical variations in the melody, it's always to emphasize a certain word or phrase. It's never just to try out a certain chord progression or something.
Yeah.
And I think I differ, especially from Sarah Vaughan in that way. But then she also had the jazz voice of the century, I feel. You know, so it would be a shame for her to limit herself just to words and stories when she really could...
Had this extraordinary instrument.
Yes, just wonderful, wonderful voice.
Okay. We're going to hear you sing. What are we going to sing?
Well, I thought I'd sing one Cole Porter standard with a verse, because these verses are great.
Yeah.
And then for my new Brazilian album, there's an Antonio Carlos Jobim song called Vivo Sonhando, which I've translated as Living on Dreams. So I'll sing it both in English and Portuguese.
Here it is.
As Dorothy Parker once said to her boyfriend, fare thee well. As Columbus announced when he found he was bounced, it was swell, Isabel, swell. As Abelard said to Eloise, don't forget to drop a line to me, please. As Juliet cried in her Romeo's ear, Romeo, why not face the fact my dear. To the end of it, when we started painting the town, we'd have been aware that our love affair was too hot not to cool down. So goodbye, dear, and amen. Here's hoping we meet now and then. Well, it was great fun, but it was just one of those Vivo sonhando, sonhando, mil horas sem fim. Tempo que vou perguntando se gostas de mim. Tempo de falar com estrelas, falar de um mar, de um céu assim. Falar do bem que se tem, mas você não vem, não vem. Você não vindo, não